I hope I gave Friol a little heart attack there when I said I wasn't knowing that I was going to be speaking. Is she done speaking? I kind of figured she was wrapping up. She's done, right? So, guys, I'm so excited to talk with you today. For those of you who don't know, I've actually been on vacation since not this past Friday, but the Friday before. So I'm going on, oh gosh, almost 10 days. It's been amazing. But I had already committed to Friol to speak at this event. Hey, Pam! So there was no way that I would miss out on sharing some information with you guys, as I love to do. So yes, Friol summed it up quite correctly. I do love to live and work on my own terms. This is why I don't have another job. And guys, okay, and Paul just said a little louder, please. I'm sorry, it's my phone. I have a really old phone, so you just gotta jack your volume up. It is what it is. I look at buying new phones like buying new cars. It freaks me out. So yeah, Jen, I'm just acknowledging it's hard to hear. You gotta jack your volume up. I'm talking as loud as I can, so there's that. So anyway, moving on. So the whole reason why I don't work another job is because I love my business, because it gives me the freedom that I want. But here's what I have found is so many people come into this business, and what we notice is, oh, the hours are so flexible. Okay, guys, again, I know my volume's low. It's my phone. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, so you just got to jack your volume up. I don't know how to turn things up. I am really that tech unsavvy, okay? So if you guys could do me a favor, if you see other people posting your volume's low, can you just say she's aware of it, okay? And there's nothing she can do about it. So there, okay? Yeah, I can't take a case on because you're my tripod. Like literally, guys, this is what you get. So what I find though, back to what we're talking about now, let's bring it back. I have ADD as it is scheduling. What we have to realize is when we choose not to schedule, we are choosing to, oh gosh, just run our businesses willy-nilly. We end up, oh goodness, just working all the time, and that can lead to burnout, right? The other thing is when we're working all the time, there's no, thank you, Missy, there's no reason to actually hunker down and get focused on our goals because we're just going and going and going and going, okay? So what I'm going to show you today is exactly how I schedule my time so that I can get the most done in the time that I want. I take no credit for this training. I actually received it when I was pregnant with his lordship, who will be turning 8 in October, by a trainer out in the direct selling field. Her name is Sherry Hudspeth, and she presented this to me, and it was so perfect because she told me, she said, Grace, you know, your life is going to change. You are going to experience things that you've never had with your business. And she said, and frankly, it's going to show you how to run your business in a healthy manner. And I was really excited about this. And I just want everyone to know that what I'm showing you is not original to me. I want to give credit where credit is due. Okay? So the big thing I want to tell you is what I'm also going to show you today is very simple. Okay? Like, I'm going to get done and you guys are going to be like, that's it? But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. Because what you're going to notice is this is going to force you to start cultivating new habits. And habits take time, okay? So you have to embrace that what I'm going to show you today, you can start implementing right away, but what you're going to notice is then it's a daily activity of working your calendar. Okay? And some weeks you're going to just blow it out of the water and you're going to be amazing. Okay? And then there's going to be other weeks you're going to be like, oh man, my focus wasn't where it needs to be. But it's okay, guys, because that's what this business is about. It's always learning and growing. So what I also want you to embrace with what I'm going to show you is that you can't do it all. Just because something is nice doesn't mean it's necessary. Please write that down. We are blessed to be in a business where we get a lot of great ideas, right? And we want to do them all, but we can't. There's actually very few activities that we need to do on a weekly basis to run a very successful business. But when we try to pile in everything that's nice, that's where it's like, I don't have enough time, I can't schedule because I'm just trying to do everything. So we always have to be the smart business entrepreneur to say, wait a minute, it's nice, but is it necessary? And I really want you to keep that in mind as I go through this with you. So I'm going to take you through how I set up my calendar. Now, I do recommend for this activity, especially when you're trying this for the first time or even the second time or you're revisiting, please do it on a paper calendar. I don't mind then if you transfer it to a digital, a Google Calendar so your family can see it. But my friends, when you do studies on the brain, right, the neurons in your brain are going to fire and signals and messages are going to be received differently when you take time to actually hand write things out on paper than if you're just tappy and swiping on your phone. So I really do implore you to please do this activity weekly on a paper form of calendar. You don't need to go out and buy any kind of fancy calendar. You can just go to Google and do free printable calendar pages, and there you go. So first off, on here, the very first thing you're going to do to set up your weekly calendar is you're going to pick your days off. And here's a sample, okay? If you ask anybody on my team, how many days do I expect that they will take off every single week? It's 2. Why? Because in the normal working world, you get 2 days off. And when I say 2 days off, I literally mean 2 days off. You can see I take 3. It's actually 3-ish. I'll tell you about the ish in a little bit. The whole reason of this, my friends, is you need 2 days to not touch your business. Anybody know why? Some of you are like, I don't even want to think about it. That's too scary. Oh, shut up. It's not, okay? Seriously. Why do we need to take 2 days off? 1, we need to allow our brains a chance to rest and recharge, guys. People say to me all the time, oh, Grace, you're so creative. You're always coming up with these good ideas. The only reason I come up with these good ideas is because I give myself permission to rest, recharge, and refresh my brain. Okay? You need it. Sherry just hit the nail on the head. Burnout. If you're constantly going and going and going, you'll have burnout. It's no different than if you were training for a marathon. You are not going to train 24 hours a day, guys, right? Your body would burn out and you would collapse. So why do we think we can run our businesses 24/7 and not burn out? Oh, the other thing is by taking 2 days off, guess what? You get to experience that thing you all want, the balance. Whenever somebody says something to me, I want balance, I'm like, no, you don't. You want peace. You want peace knowing that when you're working your business, you're not hurting yourself or your family or anything in your world. And you also want to know when you're not working your business that you're not hurting your business. Okay? You want to have peace. And by embracing 2 days off a week, you can have peace because on those 2 days where you're not answering messages, you are not host coaching, you are not checking parties, oh my goodness, your notifications might even be turned off. Do you know I have like 0 notifications on my phone? Seriously. None. I didn't need notifications for a good portion of my life. I certainly don't need them now. And guess who has peace? This girl. So on my days off, I'm completely off. There's no pampered chef whatsoever. Okay? So clearly mark off your 2 days off. Write them big and bold. Okay? Next, you need to think, how many hours a week do I want to work? This is going to change for everybody. Go ahead and you can post in the chat here. How many hours? What's the first number that pops to your brain that you think would be great for you to invest in your business? Is it 5 hours a week, 8 hours, 10 hours, 80, 40, 32, 25, 16, 1? What's your number? If you're new to this, you might not know. So again, go with the first number that comes into your brain. You can adjust as you go. And you also have to embrace, you will have different seasons in your life that will require you adjusting. So for example, my friends, I'm happy working 20 to 25 hours every week on my business. You heard Frial say this is our family's only source of income. It is, to me, 20 to 25 hours, even at exact level, I'm good. Okay? Now, the first 2 weeks of December, though, when we're gearing up for in-time Christmas delivery, yada, 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 okay, I'm willing to take it up to 30 or 35 because I only work 2 weeks the whole month of December. It's a different season. So embrace it, okay? Once you know your hours, write them down. I want X amount, and you can do a ratio. Like I said, I do 20 to 25. I'm cool anywhere in between there, okay? Then you're going to actually look in your calendar, and you're going to highlight where those hours, how many does Bott work? Oh, sorry, Kim, 20 to 25, okay? You're going to plug them in. I like working bigger chunks of time, but I also know that that's not going to work for everybody. Some of you work full time, so you're going to have to find more like little nooks and crannies in your schedule. So it might be, the 45 minutes on your lunch break. For you sporting parents, it might be, an hour sitting on the bleachers. Okay? Maybe you have some doctor's appointments coming up, and you're going to utilize that time you're sitting in the waiting room. Look for those snippets, highlight them in your calendar. And here's just an example, guys. Okay? So I highlighted, here's some big blocks. When you add up all this time, it's 16 hours. Here's some more highlighted. Here's 8 hours. When you add that up, there we have 24 hours. Okay? Now I told you, I'm good between 20 and 25, so I've hit it on the money there. Yay! Okay? So this is your next step. Remember, first step, you're going to clearly identify your time off. Okay? Then, Lisa does team meetings and one-on-one with directors count. Yes. Yes. Next, you're going to choose the amount of hours you want to work every week. It's different for everyone. And now you're going to clearly identify when you want to work. Okay? And remember, guys, if we tell others that this business is flexible, then we need to live by it. We need to be able to choose when we work and when we don't. I will tell you right now, if you are not living by this, where you are choosing when to work and when not to, you need to remove from every party the flexibility on the business, because you're lying to others. Did I just step on some toes? You are. Basically, you're saying, oh, it's flexible for everybody except when they join the business, and then you have to work 24/7. Don't do that. If you're not willing to embrace, to actually set your times and to live by that flexibility, please remove it from your parties and don't be lying to people. I'm dead set on that, guys. Be ethical. Pick your times. And again, just because it looks like this, for example, one week, next week it could look completely different. Earlier today, I actually sat down with my calendar, and next week I'm traveling for ExecSem, so guess what? My highlighted times are all over the place, but I'm still meeting my times. Oh, okay. But next week is a little different. So now what do we plug into those times? We plug in income-producing activities. Do you like my graphics? Tiffany's foreman is like, I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. Income-producing activities. Guess what? Income-producing activities are things that do what? Produce income. Bookings, booking parties, prospecting, host coaching. Is it backwards too? I can't tell. Customer care, recruiting, parties. Whether or not you're actually going to do live parties or you are doing virtuals, you actually need to show up in them. Okay? Training your new consultants and coaching. Okay, please notice this, leaders. Coaching the team members and other leaders underneath you who have earned it. Yes, Tiffany, lots of Sharpies. Okay? Please remember that, leaders. We don't work with everybody on our teams. They need to earn our time. Oh, yeah. Boom. I just dropped that little nugget. Please know, guys, that if you are not a leader and you've been begging your leader for their time, please make sure you've earned it. Okay? Gretchen, I will address that in a second, okay? Because that's training, okay? So these are your income-producing activities, guys. These are what gets scheduled first. So what do I do now? I have my list of income-producing activities, and now I stop and think, how many hours out of my week, then, do I want to give to bookings? How many do I want to give to host coaching? How many to customer care? And this is just a pure example, guys, but here's what I did. So bookings, 3 hours, host coaching, 5, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I just made up these numbers. When I did all this, I came up with 21 hours. Now, wait a minute. I have budgeted 24 hours. That doesn't hit 24. That gives me 3 hours out of my week to then do all those non-essential, well, not essential, but kind of essential in a sense, just not income producing, like answering messages, product adjustments, popping out a catalog to somebody, things like that. Okay? Does that make sense, guys? Okay? So again, if you're new to this, the bookings, like here I put 3. You might go through your week and realize, you know what, I didn't need 3 for my bookings. I actually banged out and hit my goal for the number of contacts I wanted to meet in 2. Notice that? So the next week, guess what? You're going to bank that hour somewhere else. Maybe you put 5 for host coach. You're like, you know what? I didn't need that much. Or it wasn't enough. See? This is a learning game, guys. As smart entrepreneurs and business owners and presidents of our businesses, we always have to be watching, engaging. Was this enough? Was it not enough? Okay? Just because you didn't schedule enough doesn't make you a loser or anything. Well, maybe. No, I'm kidding. It just means I have to learn from this and move on. So now I know how many hours. And my last step is to go back to that calendar. And now I plug it in. So I have my days off. I know how many hours I want to work. I've highlighted them clearly. And now I've plugged in all my activities, and all the highlighted green areas are where I don't have an activity. Those are my dead spaces of time where, again, now that's where I'm going to respond to messages. I'm going to do product adjustments, things like that. Okay? So, my friends, again, this is simple. Doesn't make it easy because this is a discipline. Because, guys, look. Like, for example, from 10 to 11 on Monday, I have host coaching. If I fart around on Facebook or I start chatting with my girlfriends or whatever, and all of a sudden I look up and it's 10:55, I have 5 minutes to do my host coaching. Dang. Can I do it in that? No, I can't. Now I'm behind. There's discipline that has to be in this. So do you know what this also means? This means that when His Lordship walks in the office and I'm working on my booking, reach outs, and he's like, Mama, can you come build a racetrack with me? Or, Mama, I need a drink. And I say, excuse me, Mama's working. You know this? I will be done at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m., we can then focus on building the track. And you know where the drinks are. Go help yourself. But Mama's working. And then guess what? At 1:58, right here, I have parties. So I might be in a conversation with somebody in one of my parties, and at 2 o'clock comes, and I'll say, you know what, you are so fun. We're going to resume this conversation later because I promised my son I'm out of the office at 2, and now we're going to go build a racetrack. So I'll chat with you later. Or if I'm on a coaching call, maybe I had that scheduled. Okay, got to go because it's 2 o'clock, and I promised the cutie hubby that we were going to go for a walk. See, guys, do you see where now the peace comes in? When I'm working, I'm working. I'm not hurting my family. I'm not doing anything. Actually, I'm building our empire, for God's sake. That's what I'm doing. I'm changing our family tree, right? And guess what? When I'm not working, here's life. The naps, the date nights, the going to the park, the games that we're going to play, the hanging out with the cutie hubby, right? Sleeping. When I'm doing all of that, I'm not thinking about my business. That's right, Tiffany. I was hoping you would catch that. When I'm not working my business, I'm not working my business. Yes, I have to remind my family I'm working. And no, we're not going to do anything while I'm working because I'm working. But guess what? When I am hanging out with the cutie hubby, guess what I'm not looking at? My phone. No, I don't care. That host, I always love it. And here's the funny thing. You know how you get those messages where they'll send you a message and you don't reply in like 2.5 seconds? So then they send you another message and it's all like question marks because that's going to get my attention. So when I finally get back in and it's finally time to answer messages, you know what I tell those people? Oh, I think your keyboard must be broken because it just sent me a whole bunch of question marks. You might want to have that looked at. But by the way, I'm just getting back in my office and now I can respond to you. Oh. Guys, I'm going to be very frank with you. Very frank. Our business hours are flexible. They're not optional. If you choose when your child demands, I need to do blah, 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 and you're supposed to work, and instead of putting your foot down and saying, I'm sorry, babe, but mommy or daddy is working right now, we will attend to that once I am done, you're shutting the door on your business. But on the flip side, when you are supposed to not be working, and you are having a conversation with your child or your spouse, but yet you keep looking at your phone because you have FOMO, do not be surprised when you try to have a conversation with them and they don't care and they resent your business. Oh, boom. Did I hit you with something there? I'm being frank, guys. Every time that I have a conversation, oh, my spouse doesn't respect my business. You want to know what? Because you're not taking time to set the times and relaying it to them. This is when I'm working. This is when I'm not. And my promise to you, because I love you and I respect you, is when I'm not working, I'm with you. And I am asking you to respect and love me enough that when I'm working, please stay out of my way. Because I'm building an empire. I actually have the sign in my room. There you go, girl building her empire. Because it reminds me, okay? Seriously. Now, guys, as I wind down here, please notice on my IPAs, the two things that I don't have on here that I really do still expect of myself. One is learning. You cannot expect to grow if you are not learning. I'm an avid reader. I love audiobooks and I love podcasts. And I don't give two rips if my children don't like to listen to podcasts in the car. And when Tiffany Foreman posted Dave Ramsey up above, his lordship, he can almost quote every Dave Ramsey slogan or whatever, because that's what they hear. I listen to the One Thing podcast. I listen to Coffee Talks. I listen to, the Christy Wright Show, The Science of Success. Those are just a few. I listen to them in the shower, in the car. If I am not doing something that requires my attention, there's learning happening. If you are not a reader, then guess what? There's these really cool things called audiobooks. Okay? There we go. So while that's not structured in my calendar, it's always happening because I'm making use of those times when, like I said, I'm getting ready. I'm putting the falsies on. I'm curling the weave. Okay? In the car. Okay? That's when my training is happening. Okay? I don't budget it in because I just make it happen. The other thing I don't budget in is my planning, because guess what? A normal employer isn't going to pay you because you sat down and planned out your week. Guys, I do the planning so that my life can flow. Because I know for 10 minutes of planning, I'm saving 2 hours of work. So what I typically do is at the end of my office time on Thursday, I quick look ahead so that my brain can start analyzing, okay, what is happening next week? What do I have going on? Where I need to be for bookings, yada, yada. So my brain can start going. But then Sunday afternoon, after my luscious nap, I have a nice cup of coffee, and I sit down with my happy planner, because it makes me happy, and my stickers, and I plan. And sometimes if I am in a crunch for time, because maybe we're going to go visit family or whatever on Sunday, I can plan in about 15 minutes. But if it's just a lazy Sunday, and I really want to get my jam on with my fun sticker books and everything, then I'll sit there with 2 hours. The planning's done quickly. The fun decorating takes longer. But guys, not planning isn't an option. Because my goals are too big. Okay? And that's what I'm going to end with. How big are your goals? How big? You know, Abraham Lincoln's mother said to him on her deathbed, Abe, don't be mediocre. And that man who was raised in a log cabin went on to live up to his mama's expectations. So, guess what? I don't want to be mediocre. And if I choose not to plan and then work my plan, my goals aren't going to happen, and I'm going to be mediocre. And that terrifies me. So, I'm going to end with this because I knew this question was going to come up. Thank you for asking about the virtual parties. Remember, communication is key for taking time off. Okay? So, when somebody is booked with me, this is what they hear. Just so you know, I am never in the office Friday through Sunday. So if you message me on those days, I will respond on Monday. My team knows Grace doesn't work Friday through Sunday. If you message her, she will respond on Monday. So guess what, guys? Yes, my groups are set up the prior week. They start the following Monday. But my hosts are adding people the whole weekend. I use a posting service. So yeah, there's fun posts popping up. And I actually have in those posts, hey guys, guess what? really cool part of the job is it's really flexible. So I'm actually not in the office Friday through Sunday. So my guests know this. So if you try messaging me, I'll get back to you on Monday. I just tell people this. I tell my hosts. And it's so cute when I come in like on Monday and I'll see they had messaged me on Saturday and they're like, I know you're not in the office, but I had this quick question. And I'm all like, haha, you're so cute. You thought I'd see that. No, I have no notifications on. And I tell them, oh, I'm just getting back in the office now and I'm just seeing this. And guess what, guys? Yes, I come back to messages and there's questions and things. My business never imploded. Nobody ever got mad. You know what people say to me? Wow, you're one of the first direct selling people I know that actually treat your business like a business. So Jan, how do I host Coach Daily if I'm not working? Thursday in the morning they get a quick message, and then Thursday night they get their weekend message. I'm just like, hey, I'm not in, so here's what you need to work on the weekend. I use Post My Party for posting in my parties, but I use Visly because Visly you can schedule texts. So I tell them, you're going to receive some fun little texts from me over the weekend, even though I'm not in. It's a total service I use, so look for those. That's how I host Coach over the weekend, guys. I don't have to physically send messages. You can give them information ahead of time. Right? I mean, think about it, guys. Think about it. If you were going away on vacation just for 2 days and you have a pet sitter, right? Do you need to call the pet sitter every day? Did you feed the dog? Did you give the parakeet water? No. What do? You say, here's the tips about my pets that you need for the weekend. Oh, just give it to them ahead of time. They're adults. They can handle it, right? There you go, guys. It's all about being proactive, and then you don't have to be reactive, okay? And Gretchen, I realized I didn't answer about ExecSem. No, that is not counted in my time next week. So I do actually have, I'm hitting Monday hot and heavy for a big bulk of my time, and I'm still fitting it in various other parts of my week to work my business because I just took 10 days off. I can't take another week off, okay? And then what did and remember guys how I said that I take 3-ish days off? So I take Friday, Saturday, Sunday, after kiddos are in bed, after Cutie and hubby and I have looked over our schedules and I've kissed him soundly because he's hot and how could I not hang with him and not kiss him? Then from 9 to 10 at night, I do go into my parties. I don't go into Messenger or anywhere else, just in my parties. I do block parties, so I open up 2 Facebook windows. Here's block party 1 with 5 parties. Here's block party 2 with my other 5 parties. And I just bounce back and forth and do some fun interacting for that 1 hour at 10 o'clock. Done, and then I go and hang with the cutie hubby for other fun activities. So guys, don't overthink it, okay? Don't overthink it. We get so caught up thinking our business needs us every single day, and it just doesn't. It really doesn't, guys. We have to live by what we say. When we tell people that this business is flexible, we need to live by that. We need to set the role model. And we need to set that model for our teams, leaders, okay? We need to show them that they are strong, independent people and that they can get on well enough without us. And, like, seriously, it's good for them, okay? So, my friends, I hope to find out that many of you have been building your calendar. And just to go through, again, your tips. 1, pick your days off, right? Remember, very simply. Pick your days off. 2, know how many hours you want to work every week, and then pick the times in your calendar where you're going to put those. Pam, that's not a fair question because I'm in direct ship, so I've got crazy flexibility. After you plug that in, you're going to plug in your income producing activities, and this is where you're going to constantly ask yourself, is it nice? Or is it necessary? Happy mail is nice. It's not necessary. Sending thank you cards is nice, but it is not necessary. Heck, sending thank you text is nice, but it's not necessary. So if you ever feel like you don't have enough time to put in everything, you constantly go back and put in your income producing activities first. If it's not income producing, it doesn't get scheduled first. And then last but not least, my friends, after it's all in, you work it. And you stick to it. And you have the peace of mind that when you're working, you're working. And when you're not, you get to be fully present with your family and you and your friends and your faith and everything, okay? And please remember, just because I take the weekends off, if it doesn't work for you, you pick the days off that work well for you. Maybe Mondays and Thursdays work well, maybe Saturdays and Wednesdays. And again, as long as you clearly tell people, here's the days that I don't work, they know it, they can expect it, and all is right with the world, right? But the biggest thing I have to implore is when you schedule your time, make sure that you're doing the activities you've scheduled your time for. Because if you just whittle away that time and you are not focused, you're going to be scratching your head and thinking, why isn't this working? Remember, you have to work it for it to work for you. Okay? So guys, I am done. Thank you so much. This was such an honor to be able to come to all of you. I do apologize for the volume on my phone, but yeah, sorry. There's that. I hope you really learned a lot. I can't wait. When I'm off of vacation, actually when I'm traveling to ExecSem, I plan to be catching up on all the training and all of that. Thank you to Free All for lining all of this up. And I am now going to go back into vacay mode because I have promised a certain little boy that we are going to Michael's because he wants to build a ship. And I told him that at 4:50, Mommy was going to be done and we would go off to find some parts to build a ship. So you guys have a very blessed weekend. Thank you. I love you all. You just bring joy to my day. And again, big, big, big thank yous to Free All for making this possible for all of us. Okay?